Saturday, March 20th, 2021. We're having Barkley weather here in Bakersfield. The past day or two, it's actually been this cloudy, and it actually did rain yesterday quite a bit. A little past 6 a.m. Went to bed last night. As I've been talking ever since daylight savings time and my Pfizer shot, I've been having some bad sleep. Slept from 10 to 1, wide awake at 1. Ended up getting on the treadmill, doing a couple miles. And I need about a mile or two with the iFit Nordic track. And then thankfully went back to bed and actually slept 3 to 6. So now it's time to go out and do 80 minutes or so on this Saturday morning. Thank you for all the comments in the YouTube. One gal, Jennifer, said that she heard Jamil on his podcast say that Laz changed the date of Barkley because too many people knew it was around April Fool's. And I can definitely understand that. I can see why, it's become such a social media circus, and also just people going out there frozen head, and it's going to change the experience. So I can totally understand why he changed the date. And by changing the date, as I said earlier in another video, change the date, the weather's even crazier. Like I was talking about the race that I do above Palm Springs Beyond Limits, which the gesture is going to be doing, and I may try and drop by there and say hello to everybody. There, the first year we did it was in mid-March, and it was probably 10 or 15 degrees colder at night than it was in early April. So, off to do my miles. Doing a little warm-up on my spin bike. It's a Proform bike before I head out for my miles. That way I don't have that first 10 minutes of death. And I think I might do a quick little kettlebell since I'm now nice and warmed up. Of course, the ongoing theme of this weekend is Barkley marathons, which they would still be going at it. Watching Twitter, basically Keith Dunn was the only one keeping us informed of when people were coming and going. And, sometimes I think, wow, it would be nice to have some timing there. And, Laz is obviously not opposed to timing systems. I did his race for the ages, and of course the big backyard race. He has Mike Melton, and Mike Melton is the timing guy. Highly recommend using him. He's the guy who caught Kelly Agnew, who had been cheating for years and years at races that I've done. And so Mike Melton, has got his system down, and maybe having it at the yellow gate would be nice, but it would also kind of take away from the whole old school James Earl vibe of the event, ideally it would be awesome, a tracking device, but the problem with tracking a device would be then everyone would learn the course. Of course, the course does change from year to year. I really like the tracking device. I paced and crewed Tahoe 200 2016, 2018, and I really love having the tracking device on there, so you could just sit in your car on your iPad and know exactly where your athlete was, how fast they were moving, and when to expect them at the next aid station. I used it once at Badwater, and it was really nice too. Haven't used it since. And I just never understand why a race, especially like Western states, that's so prestigious, why don't they just throw on those tracking devices onto all the athletes and just make the experience that much better. Before 2020, Saturdays were usually racing. Now, I'm not a fan of over racing, but I do use races, short ones. I still do 5K, 10Ks, even when my focus was on multi-days, just to get some speed work in, because it's hard to get moving. And they also say as you get older, you need to race often because you lose that racing edge. The younger athletes, like when I coached high school, we didn't want to race them very much. And nowadays, especially the high school ones, they're only running maybe in cross country half a dozen meets because you definitely want to be prepared. Same thing with the NCAA cross country. They skip quite a few races. But as you get older, you need the races, and they're also a social aspect. So I have something I call something of substance. I believe it's from the Hanson Project. And so on some days, I do SOS workouts. You only do these once or twice a week. 80-20 rule, 80% easy. So usually on Wednesdays, I do an SOS. And then Saturday, I have a race. And then Sunday, of course, a long. And so today, I'm doing kilometer repeats, walking as quickly as I can for a kilometer, then taking a break. That's what I'm in between right now. I've done 4 repeats so far. And then, of course, on Saturday, well, that's because today's Saturday. Usually I'd be racing on Saturday, so I like to do a little faster stuff, just like Friday is my easy day because usually I'm racing. And then, of course, tomorrow I will go out and do about 10 miles because really my focus now is on half marathons and below. the encampments along the bike path are out of control. Jack Daniels, Coach Jack Daniels, and Coach Jay Johnson, both in their marathon plans, say that you should have really just 2 hard workouts. Well, actually 1 hard workout, speed in the middle of the week, and then of course the long run is considered one of the SOSs almost. And so I like doing Wednesday. It's 2 days after my weekend, get a little bit of recovery. And then I like Saturday, obviously, because usually I'm racing on Saturday, so then I don't even have to do what I'm doing today, like doing 1 kilometer repeats on my own, and they're going to be really slow, but at least I'm getting the legs moving, and that's kind of the idea behind that. I'm going to leave you with, I just got an invite, actually on Clubhouse. My friend Bob, who I have walked many races with, phenomenal walker back in the day. He went over 400 miles in a 6-day. Had a great conversation with him yesterday, and he was telling me Clubhouse is the place to be. Not really, I get it, what you do. You go in there and you talk, which obviously you watch my videos, you know I like to talk and talk to people. And so if you're on Clubhouse, friend me, follow me, or whatever you do there. My links are in the show notes. I got a link tree, and I just added the Clubhouse link. And well, you know, if people are interested, I'll definitely do it. I've just been talking to the Jester the past day or two. Really looking forward. We're going to hopefully do like a Monday morning video podcast and throw it up Monday. And it should be very interesting. He is heading towards his 200th 100-mile finish. So looking forward to talking to him. I want to thank you guys all for the views, the likes, and the comments, and the subscriptions. Over 200 now. I'm on my way to getting that 1,000. So as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.